So let us not waste any more time and let us start with the lecture now. So first of all, LCM and HCF. I hope you understand the concept of it. So what is LCM, guys? So as the name suggests, LCM is the lowest common multiple of two or more natural numbers. Yes, the common multiple. I hope you know the basic concept of finding the LCM. Is there anyone who do not know how to find LCM? Can definitely raise hand. Anyone here, guys? Or shall I move ahead with this? Same with HCF. So what is HCF? The largest common factor of two or more numbers will be called as the HCF of the number, right? I do not think I need an explanation over here, right? May I move on to the next slide, guys? Yes, now. Okay. So finding the LCM of two numbers. So how do we do this? Normally what people do is, okay, 15 and 20, right? So by 5, so 3 times and 4 times. Again by 2, so 1 time and 2 times. So what is the LCM of 15 and 20, guys? Five twos are 10, 10 threes are 30, 30 into 2 is 60. So that's how you normally find LCM, yes or no? Okay. What I more believe onto is finding LCM using the prime factorization method. So how do we use prime factorization? So can you prime factorize 15, guys? 15 can be written as 3 into 5. Similarly, 20 can be written as 2 times 10 and then 2 times 5. So basically I can write 15 as 3 to the power 1 into 5 to the power 1. Similarly, I can write 20 as 2 square into 5. Yes. Rishabh, I don't understand what 385 is about. So what prime factorization tell us is, we take while finding the LCM of any two numbers, we take the maximum of any number available. So we'll start with 2 now first, right? So the LCM would be, so what is the maximum power of 2 available in both 15 and 20? Here I can say 2 to the power 0. Here it is 2 square. So the maximum power available is 2. Yes. So I'll take 2 square. Similarly, the next number is 3 to the power 1. So let us consider it is 3 raised to the power 0. What is 3 raised to the power 0? It is 1, right? So hardly matters. So what is maximum power in both the cases? 1. So I'll take 3 raised to the power 1. Similarly, talking about 5. 5 has a power of 1, right? So I'll write 5 to the power 1. So what is the product now? 2 square is 4. 4 into 3 into 5. What is 4 into 3 into 5, guys? Isn't it 60? Is that clear how we take the LCM? So we take the maximum power. We do not care whether, see, in this case, I did not care whether 2 square 2 is present in the other number or not. Here it was not. Still, I took 2 square as the LCM. Yes or no? Similarly, for 5 and 3, they were somehow present in both the numbers. Yes. So if that is clear, let me straightforward tell you the concept for HCF as well, so that you guys do not miss out on that. So uh, talking about 15 and 20. So right now we are finding the HCF of these two numbers. So 15 can be prime factorized as, yes. Similarly, 20 can be prime factorized as 2 square into 5. Now, talking about the HCF of two numbers, we take the minimum of any power available. Yes. So how do we do that? In 20, there is 2 square present. In 15, do we have any term for 2 present? Yes or no? No. Similarly, talking about 3. In 15, we have 3 raised to the power 1. But in 20, do we have any power for 3? No. So basically, I'll not take 2, I'll not take 3. Because HCF is about common things, right? Common. So what is common? In 15, we have 5 raised to the power 1. In 20, we have 5 raised to the power 1. So that means the HCF is 5. Do we agree, everyone? Yes or no? Is that clear? The basics between LCM and HCF? Everyone, can I move on to the next slide now? All right. So can you guys find the HCF of these two numbers now, 18 and 24? Okay. So a lot of people answering 6. So even I don't know the answer. Let us see how we calculate. So what we'll do is we'll prime factorize 18. So 2 times it's 9, 3 times it's 3. So 18 can be written as 2 to the power 1 into 3 square. Similarly for 24, 2 times is 12, 2 times is 6, again 2 times is 3. So can be written as 2 cube into 3. So what would be the HCF? Looking at the power of 2's, in 18 the maximum power is 1 and in 24 the maximum power is 3. So for HCF I'll take 2 raised to the power 1, whatever is common. Yes. Similarly, looking at 3, one has 3 raised to the power 1, the other has 3 square. So I'll take 3 to the power 1 only. So the HCF would be 6. What would be the LCM, guys? So the basic funda is for HCF, I see the minimum. For LCM, I see the maximum. Yes. So for LCM now, what I'll see is for 2, the maximum power is 2 cube. So I'll write 2 cube. And for 3, the maximum power is 3 square. 2 cube is 8. 3 square is 9. So what is 9 into 8? 72. So your answer would be 72. Is that clear, everyone? Can I move on to the next slide now? Okay. One more announcement. So the new joiners or people who don't know, can you change your chat settings to only all panelists, not to everyone? I'm talking about Neeraj and mostly Neeraj. Can you do that, Neeraj? Guys, is the funda clear to you now? How do you find HCF and LCM? Everyone? All right. Now, so that's how we learned finding LCM and HCF. So now the next concept is talking about properties of LCM and HCF. So the first funda is, guys, the product of LCM and HCF. So let's say two numbers are X and Y. Yes, I'll say the LCM for these two numbers is some number L. The HCF of these two numbers X and Y is some number H. So in that case, what I can say is L into H is equal to X into Y. Is that clear, everyone? Yes or no? Similarly, talking about the LCM and HCF of two fractions, let's say you have two fractions, X upon Y and Z upon A. And you're supposed to find the HCF of these two numbers. So to find the HCF of these two fractions, what I'll do is, the HCF would be the HCF of the numerators, that is X comma Z, upon LCM of the denominator, that is Y comma A. Yes. Similarly, to find the LCM would be LCM of the numerator, that is X comma Z, and the HCF would be HCF of Y comma A. Is this clear to you guys, everyone? Okay. So now talking about the type 1 problem. So the type 1 problem is basically, so guys, we learned one concept, that is HCF into LCM is equal to product of the two numbers, that is X into Y. So now to find the sum of two numbers is given, LCM and LCF is given, find the reciprocal. So what is reciprocal, guys? Find the sum of the reciprocal. What is sum of the reciprocals? That is basically 1 upon X upon plus 1 upon Y. Yes or no? So to find the reciprocal of two numbers, that is 1 upon X plus 1 upon Y. So when I multiply, so when I take the LCM here, so XY, X plus 1. So to find the reciprocal, what do I need? I need the sum of the numbers and I need the product of the numbers. Yes or no? Okay. The type 1 problem is basically wherein you will be given the sum of the numbers. So this is already given to me. And LCM and HCF is also given to me. So if I'm given with the LCM and HCF, I can also find the product of the numbers. So that way I can find the sum of the reciprocal of the numbers. Is that clear? Everyone? So this is one type of problem that is asked in placements again and again. In a lot of exams, you will see this problem, right? So I'm not giving examples here. What we'll do is I'll put random questions and then see whether you guys are able to identify the type or not. So now talking about the type 2 problem, it is about biggest container to measure quantities. For example, so can you just read it out? Read this particular statement out, this one. Also, let me know if I really need to explain this to you. Okay. What is HCF, guys? So let's say you have numbers X, Y, and Z. So HCF is basically a number, let's say B, which divides all the three numbers. Yes. The highest number B that divides all the three numbers exactly. Yes or no? Someone has joined with the name MyRedmi, right? Please do not do this from the next time. So this question is for you itself. Is that clear? What is HCF? Yes or no? MyRedmi. Is that clear to you? Okay. Now, this particular type of problem says three quantities containers, right? Let's say 50 liters, 70 liters, and 90 liters is given to you. For example, you have to measure this particular quantities, that is 50, 70, and 90. Will be given to you. You have to find a smaller quantity container that can measure all the three quantities exactly. So three numbers, three quantities are given to you. You have to find a smaller container which can measure all this exactly. Let's say that is 10. Yes. So how 10 satisfy? Because yes, if I take a container of, just give me 1 second. If I take a container of 10 liters, so to measure 50 liters, I have to, reiterate 5 times. For 70 liters, I have to reiterate 7 times. And for 90 liters, I have to reiterate 9 times. Yes or no, guys? MyRedmi, is that clear to you as well? So what would I basically do in that case? So whenever I'm given with three quantity containers and I have to find a smaller quantity container, I'll simply find the HCF, nothing else. Yes or no? No. Talking about the bell question. So this is another type of question which is asked in the placements again and again. What does it say is basically see when will all the bell ring together? Yes. For example, let's say you are given that there are three bells, 1, 2, and 3. The first bell ring after every 10 minutes. The second bell ring after every 20 minutes. And the third bell ring after every 30 minutes. Yes. And let's say you are given that at 11 p.m., all the three bells rang together. Yes. You have to find the next time when all the bells will ring together. Do you understand? Yes or no? So what do we do in such cases is we find the LCM of the three numbers. We'll find the LCM of 10, 20, and 30. I'm not sure about the data here, guys. I'm just giving you an example, right? I don't know what the LCM is for 10, 20, and 30. I've not calculated. I'm just talking about the concept. So is that concept clear to you now? So if there is a question when you have to find the time when the bells will ring together, you will always think about the LCM of the three numbers. Yes or no? Okay. Similarly, the another type of question that you see in LCM and HCF is what time they meet again at the starting point. Let's say at 11 a.m., three runners A, B, and C were together, right? And let's say this is one circle. Runner A takes, let's say, 50 minutes to complete the total circle. Similarly, B takes, let's say, 64 minutes, and C takes 72 minutes to complete the circle running. The question would be, what time will they meet again at the starting point? So in those questions as well, what do we do is we simply find the LCM of the three numbers. Is that clear, everyone? Guys, why are you not responding? All right. So here's the first question on your screen, guys. I'm giving you 30 seconds. I'm expecting correct answers from every one of you, not even calculation mistakes. You have 30 seconds and I'll be right back. All right. So the question says the HCF of two numbers is 12. The LCM is 360. One of the numbers is 36. Find the other. So we know that HCF into LCM is equal to X into Y. HCF is 12. LCM is 360 is equal to one of the numbers is 36 into Y. We have to find Y. 36 times is 10, so y is 120. Simple as that. Is that clear to everyone now? Okay. Talking about question number 2. Neeraj is wrong. Utkarsh Kumar, correct answer. Isha Kundle, correct answer. Amita, Neeraj, you are correct now. Okay. So the problem says the ratio of two numbers is 3:4. So guys, can I not say let's say the numbers are 3x and 4x? I can do that, right? If the ratio of two numbers is 3:4, I can say that the numbers are 3x and 4x. Now, if the numbers are 3x and 4x, what is the LCM of the numbers? Guys, if two numbers are 3x and 4x, what is the LCM? Three x can be written as 3 raised to the power 1 into x raised to the power 1. 4x can be written as 4 raised to the power 1, or let's say you will say 2 square into x to the power 1. What is the maximum power of 2 in these two numbers? 2 square. Maximum power of 3 is 3 raised to the power 1, and maximum power of x is x to the power 1. So the answer is 12x. It is said to me that LCM of the numbers is 180. So that means 12x is equal to 180. That means x is equal to 15. If x is 15, one of the number is 3 into 15, that is 45. And the other number is 4 into 15, that is 60. I'm supposed to find the product of the number. So what is 45 into 60? It is 2700. Is that clear, everyone? Can I move on to the next question? Okay. Here's the next question on your screen, guys. All right. So the correct answer is 7. I see a lot of people answering that. Very good. Okay. So it says there are 2 gears. So what are gears, guys? Something like the coronavirus? Yes. I'm sorry, I'm very bad at drawing. Let's say this is the second gear. Yes or no? So the question says 2 gears, one with 12 teeth and the other with 12 teeth are engaged with each other. So when I say engaged with each other, means one teeth of one gear is in contact with the gear of another teeth, a teeth of another gear. Yes or no? One gear has 12 teeth, the other has 14 teeth. Let us say, if I say the distance between teeth is 1 centimeter. Yes. So what is the circumference of the first gear? Which is smaller? If the distance between one teeth is 1 centimeter, I can say that the circumference of the smaller gear is 12 centimeter. And the circumference of the larger gear is 14 centimeter. Yes or no? No. Isn't it that type of problem wherein you have two runners or three runners which are running? We have to find the time when they will meet together. In such cases, what do? You find LCM or HCF. Okay. So what is the LCM of 12 and 14, guys? The LCM for 12 and 14 is 84. So we are finding for 12 centimeter and it is 14 centimeter. So that means 84 centimeter. Now it says the question is, after how many rotation of the smaller gear with the marked teeth in the other gear will again come together into contact for the first time? So basically they have to rotate for 84 centimeters to come into contact again. Now we have to find the number of rotations. So the total distance is 84 centimeter. Circumference of the smaller gear is 12 centimeter. So in 84 centimeter, how many rotations will the smaller gear complete? 84 upon 12, which is 7. Yes or no, guys? Is that clear? Shall I move on to the next question? If you have any question, you can ask me right away, because if I'm on to the next problem, it is very tough for me to come back to the previous problem and explain it. So I'm giving you 5 seconds to decide and let me know. I have just assumed it, Abhishek. You can assume it to be 100 centimeter or whatever. That is up to you. Why 84 by 12? See, the LCM is 84 centimeter. So that means every gear has to rotate for 84 centimeter to be on the position, initial position. Vivek, yes or no? Yes. Which is the smaller gear? Smaller gear means the one with 12 teeth. Ramesh Mali and Vivek Kumar. Yes. Now, I know that they have to complete 84 centimeters to be on the first position, on the initial position. Circumference of one is 12 centimeter. For the smaller circle or the gear, the circumference is 12 centimeter. So for it to complete 84 centimeter, how many rotations does it have to make? Vivek Kumar and Ramesh Mali. 84 by 12. Pause in the question, it is given already. After how many rotations of the smaller gear? Isha Kundle and Ramesh Mali. Is that clear, everyone now? Okay. So here's the next question on your screen. It says, what is the largest possible integer that is divisible by each of the integers 1 through 7 inclusive? So what do we need to find in this case? The LCM of 1 to 7. Yes. One is written as 1 to the power 1, 2 is written as 2 to the power 1, 3 as 3 power 1, 4 as 2 square, 5 as 5 to the power 1, 6 can be written as 2 to the power 1 into 3 to the power 1, 7 can be written as 7 to the power 1. So to find the lowest possible integer that is divisible by the integers 1 through 7 inclusive, we simply have to find the LCM. What would be the LCM? Talking about 1, so we have to take 1. For 2, the maximum power is 2 square. For 3, it is 3 to the power 1. For 4, we have already taken 2 square. For 5, it is 5 to the power 1. And then 7. The answer is 4 into 3 into 5 into 7. Yes. So what is the answer, guys? 420. Sandeep Das, it is not SCF. If the question would have been what is the lowest number that divides each of the numbers 1 to 7, then we have to find HCF. Here it is talking about a number that is divisible by all the numbers. So in that case, we have to find the multiple. Rishabh, can you tell me what your doubt is exactly? All right, so let's move on to the next question. So here is the next question for you. say cause I took LCM cause we had to find a number that is divisible by all the numbers. So that means that particular number is the multiple. So when we talk about multiple, it is LCM, lowest common multiple, Rishabh. Okay. Guys, let us quickly move on to the solution of this. So 496 can be factorized as 31 into 2 cube. 403 can be written as 31 whole square. And 713 can be written as 31 into 23. So talking about the HCF, what is the common of 2? None and none. That is basically 2 raised to the power 0 into 31. The maximum common is 31 raised to the power 1. That is 31. For 23, it is not in 403, not in 496. So 0. The answer is nothing but 31. We simply had to find the HCF here. Utkarsh, no. We in HCF we see the maximum power available, the minimum power available in all the numbers. Here it is 1, here it is 1. Because we are finding the HCF, we'll take only 31 to the power 1, not square. Is that clear now, Utkarsh? Yes, Vishnu, minimum power. Minimum power common in all the three. Maximum power which is common. Is that clear or not, guys? The concept. Yes, Vishnu, the minimum power. Is it clear? Do I need to explain it more? See, Sandeep, the question simply says, I already taught you a type, right? If you are given three containers and you have to find a container that can measure all the quantities exactly, you simply find the HCF of three numbers. That is 496, 403, and 713. I found the HCF of these three numbers and I found it out to be 31. So basically, I need a container of 31 liters. Sandeep Das, did you join the lecture late when I was explaining the types of LCM and HCF? Okay. Talking about the last question from LCM and HCF. So here's the next question on your screen. You guys have a minute, 30 seconds. Can I get the correct answers for this from everyone? Okay. So guys, the question says, four different electronic devices make a beep after 30 minutes, 1 hour. So what is 1 hour, guys? 60 minutes, three and a half, 3/2 hour. So what is three by 2 hour? That is 90 minutes, and 1 hour 45 minutes. That is 105 minutes, respectively. All the devices beep together at 12 noon. They will again beep together at. So if you were very through with the types that I taught, what do we need to find here? LCM or HCF? Okay. So let me again help you finding the LCM here, right? So people who were confused. For 30, what is the LCM? 2 into 3 into 5. For 60, it would be 2 square into 3 into 5. For 90, 2 into 3 square into 5. And similarly for 105, it is 3 into 5 into 7. What is the maximum power of 2, guys, available in any of this? That is 2 square. 3 is available in all of them with a maximum power of 3 square. For 5, it is 5 to the power 1. For 7, it is 7 to the power 1. So what is the answer for this, guys? One two six zero, right? So what is 1260 minutes, guys? How many hours? That is 21 hours. Yes. So if the bell rang at 12 noon, so after 12 hours, it will be 12 midnight. Yes. See, the LCM was 1260, guys. So what is 1260? These are all in minutes, Vishnu. So 1260 minutes. So what is 1260 minutes? That is 21 hours divided by 60. Vishnu. Right. So if the bell rang together at 12 noon, so after 21 hours, what time it would be? After 12, it would be 12 midnight and then 9 more. So it will be 9 a.m. Yes or no? See, Kiran, the LCM was 1260. Yes or no? Ram and Kiran. What do you mean by 1260 minutes? If I divide it by 60, it will give me 21 hours. So that means the clocks will, the electronic devices will beep again together after 21 hours. We know that they initially beep together at 12 noon. So after 21 hours, what time it will be? It is going to be 9 a.m. Ram and Kiran. Is that clear?